Hello there, welcome to another talk, another podcast, meditation, and today's talk is called Law of One. And if you're like me, you watch sometimes videos on YouTube about mediums, psychic mediums. They say that in heaven they go by the law of one. People that talk about aliens or more advanced, higher beings, they say they go by the law of one as well in this galactic federation of light. That's why I called my website Love Light Family. And so that's what's ultimately happening on the planet. This is what it's a race for the system to stop, basically. Because those people maybe they're not aware that we're all one, and it's about control. For example, I've got a permanent strike on me on YouTube, and I didn't lie in any videos or talks. And but I don't talk about political things now. I just talk about spiritual awakening, but that's ultimately what the problem is. The awakening means no more control, because what it offers is so delicious, and the law of one is basically what everything becomes once you live from your heart. When people say someone is narcissistic or disrespectful, that person isn't heart-based. That's why they're narcissistic. When someone has a spiritual awakening, they are living from their heart now. They're not in fear anymore. And then you start to see all as oneness. It might not be one, but you start to feel like it's one. Like you're connected through the heart to other life forms. Might not be one, I don't know, but that's how it seems. And this ultimately can create union and unity within the planet and in space also. So that's the point of the law of one, and that's what it really is. And that's the new earth. Right? The new earth is people having these spiritual awakenings, and they're the ones here. That's God's army. And the people that have had these unexpected spiritual / Kundalini awakenings, they are taking this new energy onto the planet to make earth heaven on earth. And that's why a lot of people say there's a spiritual warfare, because it's all part of it. You see, the dark forces, actually it's a simulation, but it's all from the same one infinite creator. And the one infinite creator even created the bad ones, because you've got to have bad to understand good. You see, so they all have a place. It's like a movie / computer game. And in the end of it, and this is a new thing we're going through, where we're evolving, past this 3D reality. You see, but it's true that when you start to be heart-based, that's what happens when you spiritually awaken. and you start to be more heart-based. And when you start doing that, you connect more. You start to become more meditative. Like twin flames, connection is going to be heart-based. It's not just a sexual, lustful desire. It's a heart-based connection, right? And I just thought I'd throw that in because that's part of this pathway. Like I always say in my tarot readings that I do on my website, that it's a romantic pathway also. That's why, like I said earlier, this is so delicious and it offers people, I mean, you know, videos you can get on the internet of females having energy orgasms. The system can't give you something like that, you know. Twin flames, abundance, wealth. The spiritual road offers so much richness that the system can never compare with. You see? So that's, I mean, I'm not political anyway or scientific, so that's really why I stopped talking about this kind of stuff. Because it wasn't really my area and I was going into things I didn't really know anything about. So I went back talking about what I had the spiritual awakening for. My pathway started at the age of 24, I'm 34 now, and where I had an unexpected spiritual awakening. Because I had enough one day of everything. And I'm not religious, but some religious people, I've heard them say, when you take the first step, God, you know, takes the rest of the steps. And that's the way it was. And ever since then, it's been an ascension pathway, an inner journey. A lot of healing, lots of tears, a lonely pathway, and then what happens is you start to embrace that solitude, that loneliness, because within that is an infinite love. Like David Icke says, infinite love is the only truth, everything else is an illusion. And that's why a lot of people are alone. It's to show them the real power of God, which is actually within loneliness, but within being alone, there's a love there. You have to be alone to tap into it, to discover it, right? It's like you give up with everything. And ultimately, you know, it's like what Deepak Chopra says, law of one means the one nothing. But within that nothing is an infinite love. Like I just said a minute ago, infinite love is the only truth, everything else is an illusion, like David Icke says. Lately I've felt like I'm tuning into nature. But I do say a self-suggestion I say to myself a lot is, I am 528 Hertz, love frequency. And lately I've been feeling like I'm very in tune. I think it's because of that self-suggestion. But this journey in general is a love pathway, and you're connecting more with natural frequencies. You see? And so on the spiritual awakening pathway, it's not just me, it's happening around the whole planet. That's why the system has to do what they're doing. They don't realise that they're just actors. Everyone's just actors, it's all characters. And in awakening, you realise you've just been sitting on a bench having a snooze. And in awakening, you've woken back up again and you haven't gone anywhere. And everything is within the present moment. And now there's like a picnic being laid down on the grass for you. And there's a fair and it's all fun for you. That's basically symbolic of presence, of awakening. But you're going to see the law of one become more apparent as this awakening gets bigger and bigger. That's who the chosen ones are. The chosen ones are those that choose to be chosen. It's not that no one is special or more special than someone else. It's just that they choose to go within themselves. When they said to Jesus Christ, they said, "Where is this God?" He said, "It's within you." You see? He didn't say, I'm God. He said, it's within you. And yeah, as the awakening progresses, the law of one is going to get more bigger and bigger, as it is doing. And the law of one is, yeah, it's just seeing all as you. If everyone was doing, when they are doing this, you won't have any wars or discrimination. You see? But law of one doesn't mean that we make everyone the same. It means that we know that, as David Icke says as well, that we're just different points of attention within the same infinite consciousness. You see? So it means that, you value a black man, a white man, a other kind of person, but you value their differences as well. But you're not discriminating against them. You see? So it's not making everyone the same, it's understanding that all is one infinite love, infinite consciousness. We shouldn't discriminate against someone because they've got a different spacesuit, because that's all the physical body is, it's just a spacesuit. And ultimately, the true self within the heart is that source where all life comes from. And that's what you're tuning into in the heart. But it's so great because you get to have a separate experience. And you grow so much in that separate person experience. You see? So everything in that is complementing each other. And that's what the law of one will bring to this new earth. Instead of looking at others in competition with them, people will look at each other as people to learn from. You see? Work together like I think ants, insects do that. At least they've got the intelligence to do it. Maybe we're not as intelligent as we think. The real intelligence is this divine power. You see? It's not the academics. Because they're just working with their mind. The heart, according to scientists, heart-based living is science now. They say the heart is 60 times more powerful than the brain. But when you merge the heart and the brain, you get super divine intelligence then. But yeah, when you are heart-based, you start seeing all as one. Started with me as I say, an unexpected spiritual awakening, but all I'd done in the awakening was unconsciously I was heart-based for the first time, and it ignited the awakening. I did it unconsciously, of course. And what I'm trying to do here is just pass on the awakening and do what I had the awakening for. I know that there's a higher power involved. That's why I called my website Love Light Family, in dedication to this higher power. Call it aliens, call it whatever you want to call it. I believe that is involved. I believe that's where all the higher knowledge comes from. But I'm just going to leave it there. For latest updates and talks and news and research and much more, please do visit my website. My new talk is always located at the top of my homepage on my website, and my website address is www.lovelightfamily.com. Thank you.